All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us on this evening. We're here with Bahamas Scouting Report. My name is Jeff Hall, and I'm the president of Go Educate, Inc. We have Bahamas Scouting Report founder and president, David McPhee. We also have Hopeville's Boys Center founder and president, Clyde Forbes. And then we have the vice president of Go Educate, Inc., Josh Hall, with us. Tonight we have two special guests. We have Coach Ledoux from Miami-Dade College, and we have Coach Summers from Edward Waters College in Jacksonville, Florida. They're here to share information in regards to their systems that they run at their schools, and they're also going to provide pertinent information on what type of athletes they recruit and what they're looking for in their athletes. So we're going to open the floor up to them, and we're looking to have a great show. So sit down, relax, and enjoy the show. So we're going to start off with Coach Ledoux. Coach, please share information about your offense and the type of players you're looking for, and we're all ears.
All right. First of all, I'd like to thank all you guys for having me on. It's an honor to be here, and what I'll do is I'll go over our system, and what our system is basically a system. I had a player say, "Coach, we love your system." I said, "Well, it isn't really my system. I wish I could take credit for it, but I blended the system of Paul Westhead when he was at Loyola Marymount with Hank Gaddis and Bo Kimball and that offense. And then I also was on the defensive end with the Arkansas with Nolan Richardson and their squad of 94 feet of what he called hell. And so we kind of try to blend that in together. The reason we do it is to make the kids use all their, all my players be able to use all of their strength. We recruit long, athletic, high IQ guys that really have a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove something. They want to play hard. They must have IQ on the offensive and defensive. That's the keys to this is the defense, actually. In a nutshell, we want to get up shots. We want to get up a lot more shots. The shot differential we want to try to get is about 30. So we want to average about 110 shots a game. And that seems really high, but we've done it before. The key to it, though, is going to be on the defensive end. We trap everything. We try not to let the other team run a play. We rotate. We substitute a lot. All the guys that we recruit have got to be team players. If they want to come here and try to get theirs and try to get 30 a game, and we don't want that guy. It's okay.
No.
We want guys who are teammates, good teammates, who care about their education and want to have some fun. One of the things we like to say is, when your players are happy, you're happy, and you should be a successful program that way. If everybody's happy, that means you're winning because you're bringing in winners as well. So in a nutshell, that's what we do. We push the ball, as quick as we can. If you're open, you must shoot the ball, then we go get it. We rebound it, all five, and we try to score every time, put pressure on the other team, and make the other team make a lot of decisions. And hopefully in the end, with rotating players in and out every few minutes, we wear the other team down physically and mentally, and we come on top, hopefully. That's the key. But it's all about the young men that you recruit, and we hopefully, I think this year we have a bunch of great guys and who are team players, who are very athletic, who want to win, who have who play hard and play for each other, and that's going to be a key to our offense and defense this year.
Thank you, Coach. In regards to that, that's an exciting offense. I really want to know, that was something I told you. I want to know how you all were able to put up so many points. And so that definitely gave us a clear, idea of what's taking place. Now, at the beginning, I know you say you all recruit long athletic and high IQ players. So I see the versatility that you demand of your athletes. So I'm assuming in today's day and age, we know how the game has transitioned to more of a perimeter game. Do you not recall, but do you require your big men to be able to shoot the ball as well? And are they traditional big men, or they're more so like hybrids, like 6'7", 6'8", as opposed to your 6'10" and up type power forwards and centers?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll tell you, it's funny because when I recruit players, for instance, I said, well, I think you could be a good 5-man for us. And the recruit just gets quiet all of a sudden. I said, well, let me just tell you what our 5-man, what we require our 5-man to do. Our 5-man requires you got to get it out of the ball, out of the net quick. You have to be able to trap. You have to be able to play defense. You have to be able to shoot the 3. If you can't shoot the 3, you can't play here. No. If you can't off the bounce, you can't play here. So I would say we don't really have a traditional 4 or 5. Our 5-man last year was a young man named Victor, 8 foot. He got many offers. He'll be a top 10 player in the country this year. He was a redshirt freshman at a Division II school the year before. He came here, system, was coachable, worked hard. He's very talented. He has a lot of skills, but he was our 5-man. The University of Florida saw him and offered him a full scholarship because they want him to be. But basically, our 5-man is a wing. So I always joke, oh, you want to be a 5? No, coach, I want to be 3. I said, well, you're the 3 then. Whatever number you want, but you're going to get the thing out of the basket. And when you get it, you're going to have to shoot it or take it off the bounce. And the reason we do that is we want to create, mismatches and so forth, and get the other teams. We like to dictate what happens on the offense and defense. And if they have to go 5 small, that's not what they usually do. So we're starting to dictate the game right off the bat.
Oh, okay. That's something I wanted to know as well. So that sounds good. Do Josh, Clyde, David, do you all have any questions?
Yeah, sure. I
go ahead.
Actually do. Go ahead, Josh. No, you go ahead, Josh. I'm after you.
Oh, yeah. I just want to know, you guys doing triple digits, averaging triple digits a game. How does the conditioning look? Going back and forth, running up and down the court, doing trapping. How do you, from that transition from high school to college, is it usually an easy transition for the players, or are you like killing them on the first day, getting them ready for that training camp, putting them through the ringer, and getting them in shape?
Josh, that's a great question because no matter what it is, a high school play, to a college atmosphere, there's a big swing there. No matter what type of system you run or what have you, it's a difficult situation sometimes for a young man from high school to come to college when he was the man always. And then no matter what program he's going to go to, he's probably not going to be the man, or be the athlete or the biggest. So, what we do though is condition. It's one of the things we do is we run a lot. I mean, one of the biggest things I know that guys who leave here, whenever they say, hey, coach, you know what, I know I'm not going to have to do the 420 no more. And then the new guys who come in say, yeah, coach, I heard, the sophomore told me, something about the 420. He's already warned us. And the 420 is we build you up. We don't kill them. We build you up. So we do a mile one day. We do 4 suicides. We do a mile. We do 4 suicides. The next week we'll do 8 suicides. And then we'll do 2 miles. Then we'll do 12. And then we'll build everybody up. By the end of the day, you're going to be doing, after like the 5th week, you're going to be doing 20 full suicides. And you're going to do 4. And it's amazing. It's a mental block sometimes to and just go. And it's funny because once we do, like, we'll warm up doing 4 suicides before a game. I mean, like 4 suicides isn't my guys, that's not a big thing. So one of the good things about it is the way we play. We play it the whole way. We don't sit around and play half court. We don't, we'll do some skill drills with Coach Cosby and Coach Vincent. They'll do some. But in general, we're going up and down the whole time. So a lot of our practice, I know I've talked to Division I schools, some of them go 3-4 hours. Wow, we go maybe an hour and a half. And, because of the way we play so fast and up and down, which, again, is because of the conditioning. But the conditioning is the number one thing that we start with and the one thing we care about. Because we feel that just being in condition should give us 8 to 12 points a game just by being in better condition.
Yeah.
So, Coach, I wanted to ask. So I think, like, some of your key focus, like you said, defense and rebounding is a part of defense. Like that rebound, I can imagine you do a lot of rebounding drills, box out, outlets, hit the middle, follow your lanes. Like I can imagine like a lot, like at least 30 minutes of the practice is like fast breaks, rebound, outlet, out break, like, you know.
As far as the practices go, we call it a 28. It's going to be done in 28 seconds. We have each player. One good thing about the system, everybody gets to score in the system. The first option is the 1 to the 3, 1 to the 2, 1 to the 4, 1 to the 5, 1 to the 1. So we run that every single day, several times a day, several times during the practice. As far as rebounding, it's funny because I hear, I'm an old school guy, so you shoot it, you better follow it. I don't know, where it's going before anyone else knows. So you need to follow the shot. I don't know why everyone's saying don't follow your shot, but that's, I don't know, not in our system. So we follow our shot. And one of the biggest thing is we teach them how to box out and so forth. Our biggest thing is how many people box out. Have you ever seen teams box out? Probably not. So go get it. We got all 5 crashing. We want to score.
Yeah, that's different. Like you said, most schools, you never see 5 crash. You see 3 or 2 crash, and they're putting a lot of pressure on that big 2, and they're expecting an outlet, and they're up court. They got the 1, 2, 3 going, and the 4 and 5 is just down there hoping they can get the rebound. So your rebound percentage should be a lot higher than most schools, and if that's higher, more possessions. And that's better. The more ORs you can keep down, offensive rebounds you can keep down, the more possessions you get on your end, and that results in more points. So that's pretty amazing. It's good philosophy.
Yeah, David. So just so you know, we in general, I think we led the NJCA. I think it was in 5 categories. Number 1 in the country. Offensive rebound, we're always in the top 5. Steals, we're usually always in the top 5. Field goals, attempts, we're always in the top 5. We just got to make more. If we can make more, we'll win. All that.
Yep. That's pretty good. That's pretty, Coach. I like I said, I'm pretty impressed with your offense, your system. I haven't seen it before in my time, and I play a lot of international games, different levels. Like I have a couple medals for the Bahamas for my country, but when I watch highlights of the way you guys run, it's pretty amazing, and it's and I have to give the coaches a lot of credit because you have to make sure the players are disciplined and in shape, and that's a lot within itself. That's a lot within itself. People might not look at it and say it is what it is, but most players aren't that disciplined to stay in shape.
Yeah, honestly, the players are the what makes it happen. At the end of the day, they're the ones who are putting in the hard work. They're the ones who are being committed to it, and it is them. The hard part on the coaching end is you got to let it go. You got to, you got to let go. People always say, "How do you do it?" And I said, "Well, you got to let them go. You got to let them play. You got to let them shoot it. You don't got to worry." I know the big thing I keep hearing all and all more and more, and I understand in the traditional system is you got to take good shots. Good shots. Well, our shot is a good shot. If the point guard passes to you, that means you're open. You got to let it fly. So that's a good shot. That's in our system. But in general, that's not a good system. That's probably not the smartest thing to do, right? But in our system, it is. But it is the players are the ones that make this happen. They're the ones who are going to make it happen. No question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coach,
You don't know. Go ahead, Clyde.
Good afternoon. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, Clyde, man.
I'm excited hearing the fact that you get a group of kids come out of high school, come into a system that you develop as far as running the ball at that speed and that pace. What is the mentality of the kids first coming in as far as actually even hearing that? Because I've never heard 5 crash the board. Like, that's insane. Like I like what David said, you usually got 2 going in, and so just sitting here thinking about that concept is crazy. What is their mindset like?
Well, the first mindset is they don't think they got to play defense. That's the first mindset, honestly. They think it's all about the offense and get theirs, until they realize, teach them what it's about. And it's hard to keep them going, you know. It really is, as far as the mental aspect of it. It's, you know, because everyone wants to score and everyone wants to play a lot. And in the system, you're coming out every minute or two because you're playing so hard. There's no hanging out. There's no walking back. There's none of that. It's intense the entire time, or we're not doing it right. You know, if you're all in, you're all out. So, you know, this group here, I think we're going to have an all-in group, and it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be a fun year for everybody.
It sounds so too, because I'm looking at a lot of these kids are prima donnas who are at their high school level. You know, like you said, they come in, I'm the dude. And I've seen it even in the professional league where I think Atlanta did that. Atlanta, the Hawks didn't have the mentality of we got a superstar. We don't have a LeBron James. We don't have a KD. We got 5 guys. This is what we're going to do. We're going to run the ball. We're going to play. And so I think it's the players' mentality coming in, not having a prima donna mentality that, hey, this is a team effort. It's not about me. Because a lot of these kids, again, they want to shine. They think it's about me. No, it's not about you. It's about the team. And so I love that concept as far as having that mindset and really drilling it into them that, you know, if you don't come in here as a team mentality, we really don't have no place for you. That's awesome.
And Clyde, you're right, you know, and it is difficult sometimes, you know, all it takes is one, you know, to ruin everything sometimes, you know, as far as the team mentality. But one of the good things is, you know, we had, I think, like I said, in 2008, I think we had 9 guys in double figures, you know. So everybody gets, hey, I know I had Fredrick, he was from Congo, very athletic, big, strong, 6'5". And he came to me and said, Coach, I got to get my touches, man. I got to get my touches. I said, we shoot the ball 100 times a game. Go get it. And he said, Oh, really? I said, yeah, that's an assist. Every time we shoot, it's an assist for you, hopefully. Well, he said, okay, Coach. And he led the nation in offensive rebounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's opportunities. You just got to go get it.
Yeah.
Wow. That's awesome.
Coach, I like to say one thing too, Clyde. I think being like a prima donna and all that stuff, going through the process of working out and getting in shape, I think it sort of breaks them out of that. They start to realize, you know, coming from the school you were, you never ran as hard, you never had to finish first or in the top, or, you know, you're not running for like, you know, 15, 20 minutes every practice. You know, usually sometimes the coach tells them come in shape and they go straight into drills and all that. But it sounds like with Coach Ledoux' system, you know, no matter who you are, you're running and, you know, he's holding them accountable. So, like, you can't be a prima donna when you got to do almost 24 suicides getting into week 5. Man, that's insane. So I think the conditioning alone sort of should break their mentality.
David, that is true. That is true because you know, and I see it all. You know, and it's you see it all the time. But I'll tell you the truth is Coach Cosby and Coach Vincent when they're out recruiting, and they do a tremendous job because they know what I'm looking for, and they know that you know, a lazy kid, if he gets close to 30 a game in high school and he's lazy, he's not what we want. He's not what we're looking for. So Coach Vincent and Coach Cosby, they do such a tremendous job recruiting these guys because, you know, we want a guy with a mentality of, hey, I want to go there and prove something. I want to go play. I want to go win. I want to show my talents, you know. We get a lot of our guys that are going to play the 4 and the 5 for us, or even the 3 that were 5 men in their, you know, in their high school because they were 6'6", you know. But so we get those guys that are 6, 6'7", 6'8" that were they're playing the 4 or the 5, and you know they want to play 3 in college. Well, we give them the opportunity to.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, that's great, Coach. That's great right there. It definitely emphasizes with players of being versatile. You know, a lot of times on the high school level, especially, you know, a lot of times you may have a 6'5", 6'4", 6'5" guy in his high school got him playing center. So offense like that definitely allows him to develop the skills he needs. So we're gonna go to Coach Summers. Coach Summers, you also is in an interesting situation like Coach Ledoux. With his offense, they put up a lot of points, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted him on the show to share that offense. But your program is unique in many ways as well. With the way you schedule your opponents, with you recruiting high school, JUCO players, in addition to NCAA transfers. Although Edward Waters is an NAIA program, you all have like D1 opponents on your schedule. And so the way you condition, the way you recruit, that's really unique as well. And so we'd like to open the floor for you. Also, before you even start, if you have a question for Coach Ledoux, we'd like to give you that as well, because we know you was quiet on your end. So I don't know if you have as well, but the floor is yours.
Honestly, I was just taking it all in. We have a lot of similarities. Coach, he blended his program from, Loyola Marymount with Paul Westphal and University of Arkansas with Nolan Richardson. And, I grew up in that era. I played in that era, and I was recruited by both schools. So the type of players that he recruits, that was the type of player that I was. And you wasn't going to play in Paul Westphal's system with Bo Kimball and with Bo Kimball and those guys. And if you couldn't get up and down the floor, those guys used to put up at least 100 points a game. So I'm very, very familiar with the things he does, and I've recruited his kids. So as far as my systems, we just a little bit different. I like to play with traditional bigs, but I need my traditional bigs to be able to shoot the basketball. And we have one rule that we look for when we start recruiting a student athlete, and that one rule is it's called ACT. Well, what we call it is ACT. You got to be academically sound, got to be a high character kid, and he got to be tough. We would not negotiate in those three areas. I don't care how talented the kid is. We would not negotiate in those three areas. And outside of that, like Coach said, we need athletes, ball players, and shot makers. And we can work everything from that standpoint. Our offense, it is up-tempo. The other rule I have another rule is the first person down the floor outside of the point guard must rim run. And the reason being, we recruit a lot of 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" guys. So it doesn't matter which one of them is the first down the floor. We're big enough to where we should be able to post up anybody. So, and if their foot is in that paint, whoever has that basketball has to give it up to that paint. And we play from the inside out. So we run a lot of pick and roll, a lot of five out, then, and sometimes a lot of 4 out, 1 in. But we get up a lot of threes. And like Coach said, I don't send 5 to the glass, but I do send 4 to the glass. And that's, I think in order to win ball games, you got to be sound on the glass, offensively and defensively, if you're going to win championships. And that's one thing that we stress every day. And along with defense, every day our practice starts with defense every day. No matter from day 1 all the way up until day 60. With defense is the start of our practice every day. And our guys, like Coach says, if you either all in or you're all out. And if you're out, we're gonna get you out early. We want to know that early. As far as conditioning is concerned, our program is year round. Our guys probably get 2 weeks off year round. Now that's going to change next year when we go NCAA, but as an NAIA program, we give them those 2 weeks from graduation up until June 1st, and they come back to campus June 1st, and they're here, during that time up until the start of class that following fall.
Okay. Well,
Coach, I got a question, Jeff. Coach, how was so you going to NCAA? What was and this doesn't have anything to do with the offense, which I'll get back. I have an offensive question, but how difficult was the process to move into, and what level would you move into?
when we do actually go NCAA, it'll be NCAA Division II.
Nice. Okay.
And the process, it's been I ain't gonna say it's been easy, but it's been tough. You know, there's a lot of things you have to do in order to become in compliant with the NCAA. So, and we have all those things in place. And like I say, if you look at our website and our social media platforms, you'll see all the upgrades that we're making in order to become NCAA compliant. New football stadium, the gymnasium getting a lot of upgrades, and we'll be moving to a university within the next 3 years. Well, actually, the next 2 years we'll be moving to a university. The grad program will start next fall, so not this fall, but next fall. So we'll be able to move into university status. So
nice. And then my offensive question, with recruiting all those bigs, it makes a lot of sense. It's pretty. You can have a universal like offense. Are most of your bigs pretty crafty with handling the ball? Like you don't have to look for one person. Like they can go ahead and move up and down the court.
Right. That's another thing that we stress, that anybody that rebounds the ball can push the ball in our offense, in our transition offense. So, and like I said, we got six, 7 guards that can handle the basketball. So once they rebound the ball, we're gone. We're not waiting on a point guard or so-called point guard to come and get the basketball.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool than having someone, you know, just round and I don't know what to do. It's 3 seconds, 5 seconds, take a dribble over and just throw it somewhere. That's pretty cool. Nice. Right. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff was going to ask a question.
No, I was just commenting on it. I was saying that's great. Another thing is the versatility that you require of your players, and then also, like you said, you recruit traditional bigs, but you require them to shoot as well. That's something too. I think in today's games that if players, if players are like 6'10", sometimes they ignore that because they're so dominant. Especially the talented bigs, they're so dominant, and so they rely so much on the inside game. I like the inside game. I like the banging down low, but we also know the way the game is, the way the pace is.
Right.
Also, the rules changes even to the professional ranks. You got to incorporate a perimeter, skill set to your game. And so I think it goes a long way. And just to keep it real, I mean, we're honest. Back in the days, big men always had some shots. They always had a jump shot. It probably wasn't a 3, but growing up, like I tell a lot of people, Steph Curry and I, we're the same age. But shooting threes, that wasn't, the way he shot threes, that was new. 2016, where he put up like 400 threes, that was new. Like, players didn't really shoot that many threes. You had great shooters like Larry Bird, Reggie Miller. Larry Bird probably shot averaged 2 3-pointers a game. Reggie Miller shot a little bit more, but as good as they were, it's a new phenom. But the big men always, Patrick Ewing had a nice jump shot, 15, 20-footer. Lonzo Mourning had a nice jump shot. David Robinson. So it's just taking out a little bit more and just pretty much giving the players okay to just shoot those shots. So I like hearing that, and that's really good, Coach.
And with those bigs being able to shoot the ball like that, it also opens the floor for those guards to attack. And that's, like I said, we play in some situations, we play a lot of 5 out. So we're opening the floor to attack. Now, if we want to kick as well, so if the defense collapse, we're kicking it out to those 3-point shooters. Yeah. And so I want to be able to play both ways depending on what the game dictates. So we'll have a recipe for, however the game flows, we got a recipe for it.
Okay, that's it. I see. I like that. Another question I have is even with a lot of times with the bigs, I know players now are a little bit more athletic, but I still think sometimes there's still, playing college, coming out of high school, you're big, you're athletic, you're 6'8", 6'9", still being in those situations where you have to guard on the perimeter, it still may be at a disadvantage. How do you help those players transition to that?
Well, the mandate for us is a lot of times we won't recruit a kid if he can't guard all 5 positions.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Because we do a lot of switching, and there's no excuse. If you can guard a 5, you can guard a point guard. You have to be able to guard a point guard. You just got to sit down and defend. And believe it or not, a lot of times all it is it's the will to want to do. A kid, if you allow a 16 kid to say, okay, I can't guard this point guard, that's what he's gonna believe.
Yeah, that's it.
But if you drilling it in him every day, drilling in him every day, you make him believe that he can guard that point guard. And it's only for maybe 10 to 20 seconds at a time. So if you can't guard for 20 seconds at a time, you don't need to be on the college floor, in my opinion.
You keep it real, coach. That's it.
Coach, I like that concept too, as far as you got these bigs on the floor and being able to run the ball at that faster pace is incredible. That's incredible on its own. And again, my mindset always go back to you coming into a program, for a college kid coming into a program, again, like how getting their mindset straight. Like Coach Ledoux was saying, just getting their psyche straight and getting them involved in the type of game that Julie played is incredible. And so that's profound to hear bigs coming in like that and being able, like I think David asked a question, to get the ball down on the next end at a quicker pace. It's very few bigs that can do that. Right. And so that's impressive.
Well, like I said, that's one of the reasons why we recruit a lot of bigs that can handle the basketball. And they don't necessarily have to be traditional 5 men. They could be 3s and 4s that are playing that position. We don't necessarily say, okay, you're a 5 and that's it. You may be a 4 on the court at that particular time, just playing in the position of a 5. And depending on, like I say, depending on how the flow of the game is going, that particular guy rebound the ball, he gone with it. And we want those mismatches. Like Coach Ledoux was saying, they look at a lot of mismatches. We do the same. We want to create a lot of mismatches. Right now I have a 6'7", basically point forward, basically, because he can play he can play 4 positions. And we will play him as some point guard and the point guard spot a lot this year to create a lot of mismatch. So it just depends on what we're looking for at that time.
I like the eye too, as far as the switch, making them to understand that, again, if you're going to play at a college level, you got to know how to switch and basically guard anyone. And if you are not, and I think a lot of time it's psychological. A lot of kids come in and even when I coach middle school guys, they look at a kid maybe like 5'8", and there's a kid like 6'3", and the first thing they go to their mind is, oh, I can't guard him. Well, it's still a basic fundamental. You still gotta go in there and do what you got. It's about footwork, hand position, and everything. And so I think again, it's a psychology of the kids coming in. I think that a lot of times they were coached wrong. They feel that I'm a number 3, or and that's it. I'm coming in. I'm only playing a number 3. But you got to be able to switch your mind. Go ahead.
Right. Well, in that situation, like just say for instance, we get our point guard switching on a 3 on our point guard. Our starting point guard is only 5'9", but he will. When I tell you he's 5'9", and he's one of the toughest SOBs I've coached in my career. And if he switches on a 6'4", 6'5" ball player, he's not giving up position. He's gonna fight around him to not give up position. Plus, we won't leave him out on that island by himself. We play help defense, but he understands that if they pick and I got to switch, I cannot give up position. I got to make them beat me. And so that's the type of mindset I was talking about when I say we can't allow them to say, oh, I can't switch and guard this person. No, everybody has to switch, because I hate to hedge and get back. For good teams, they'll pick you apart. They will pick you apart if they got great shooters and great guards that can really get downhill.
I say say one thing, Coach. Justin, Jack. I'll say one thing. I played for many different coaches, and I've had coaches that black. That when they say black, that means you doubling the pick, and the weak side is going for the first outlet pass because usually the first outlet pass is the only thing most of the short guards
Just to
see.
be open.
They're not seeing everything else. You coming off a pick, your head is not down, but it's a lot of action going on. So you're not seeing the man cut. You're not seeing the deep down 3-point shot. You're seeing the first outlet, or you're expecting a roll or a pop. So some coaches I had would block it, would block it. They call block, and then I had coaches where it would hedge it, and it was pretty. It's pretty amazing to know that depends on how you play it. If you strategize before the game, if you know the guy that's gonna roll or pop, is he a good shooter at the perimeter? Is he a good shooter in the middle? The percentages. If just depends on how you game plan. It
Right.
really, because you may have an idea. You might switch all the time, but you may realize that every time we switch on this 6'9" kid, he's not wasting any time. He's smart. He's going straight to the post on the small guy, and it's creating a foul. You got 6 fouls. So you know what? Maybe we gotta block. We gotta double it, or maybe we gotta just hedge it, or drop back. So I'm pretty sure there's times where maybe if you have to make a change on a situation like that, you will.
Definitely games, you definitely have to make. If you can't make any adjustments in this game, you're in trouble as a coach. because your game plan may not always work. That particular game plan may not always work. So you have to be able to make adjustments. And I'm not as bullheaded to think that my way is going to work all the time. So we'll have our plan A, which is to switch everything. Our plan B, we will hedge or we will ice the pick. Just depends, or we'll trap. It depends on, how the game is going. But like Coach Ledoux said, we want to dictate the pace and the flow of the game. So with our switching, we hopefully that disrupts everything that the other team wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Josh, anything?
Yeah. I know with your system, just like Ledoux, Coach Ledoux, conditioning plays a major role in your system. Basically, everybody's doing everything in your system. Your biz is bringing it up, coordinating everything like that. What do you feel is like the most common issues your students come in, like your athletes encounter when they get into your system, like as a high school player?
The most common thing that the most common thing they think is that coming in that there's no rhyme and reason to what we're doing. So I'll give you an example. We were working out the other day, and they were going up and down, and I think it may have been a stretch where there were 8 straight jump shots taken. Wow. And the smaller unit scored every possession down the floor because they're running the floor, getting layups, and while my other group, they come down, they just shooting jump shots. But shooting jump shots and not crashing the boards, you're only getting 1 attempt at the basket.
Yeah.
So I tried to explain to them. I said, yes, we will shoot the basketball. And I said, yes, after 2 or 3 times that ball doesn't go in from the perimeter, guess what? We're attacking the basket. So they think because they see the threes go up, those guys are making, if we're making 35 to 40%, then I don't mind shooting the basketball. But after so many misses, we got to pound that ball inside to those horses. We there's no need to have the horses down there if you're not going to use
them. Yep. Yeah. Before we turn it back over, sorry, Jeff, I got 2 questions for the Bahamian players. Okay. Most of the Bahamian defenses in high school, they don't do much shell, like man to man. 1 pass away help to be aggressive, 2 pass to not 1 pass to night, 2 pass away help, or weak side drop down. You should be able to get back. They do a lot of 2-3. Very rarely do like a 1-3-3. That's 1-3-1. My school do that, but they do a lot of 2-3. How would you attack a 2-3? Because I watch them, and most of them, they just do a lot of wing passing, especially the schools that can't shoot. It's perfect against them, but they do a lot of just passing to the wings, and I try to tell them, like try to hit the double team, hit the middle of it, and outlet, and then everything breaks down. But how do you recommend like breaking down a 2-3 cents? Is like the most popular defense that they play at home.
Well, one of the things we attack it two ways. We can attack it from the baseline, or we'll attack it from the free throw line, from the middle and in. That's either with the man flashing or with the ball screen.
Okay.
So if we're attacking it with the ball screen, with whatever guard is taking it, just say for instance, I'm at the top and I'm dribbling to the right perimeter. Mm-hmm. So that ball screen coming from the opposite side B, he sets the ball screen and I make my guard attack that inside guard with the next guard at the top. Mm-hmm. So now we got to kick to an open 3-point shoot. Now, if the bottom man closes out to that open 3-point shoot, we'll cross screen the other big, cross screen for the other big, so he comes over the top wide open on the baseline.
Understood, because the middleman is in a pick, so times he get it, he should have like a second before the middle guy down low come back to him. And if he's bigger, he has an advantage for a foul or something. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Like it. And the last question is, do you run more like besides the fast break game? Because you and Coach Ledoux has a lot of similarities. He crashes 5, you crashes 4. He recruits bigs and flexibility, like more versatile guys with height. You do the same thing, so it's a lot of similarities in the styles that you guys have. But do you have, and I want to ask Coach Ledoux too afterwards, but do you run more like flex motions? Like what kind of offense? Like slow pace motion?
I run a lot of motion. I ran the flex a couple of years ago when I was a little smaller, but since we've been a lot bigger, I try to open the floor up a little bit and try to take advantage of a lot of mismatches. We run a lot of horn sets, like I said, a lot of screen and rolls, pick and pop, with our bigs, but it's mainly a lot of motion offense.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. On dead ball situations, I like to play 5 out. We have 5 out, and we again, for instance, this year we had we had some very versatile guys that could really take it off the bounce, and again we have all wings, so when we just waited for whoever the biggest guy was, covered our one guy, he just take it to the rack pretty much and score. We play 5 out in general, and we have 3 different options off of it per se. What we call we can screen away, we can cut down the middle. That's one thing, but we also have a bunch of set plays. One of the best ones we run is we have a secondary break. Sometimes we'll just run a secondary break off a dead ball. We have 3 different sets off of that, and that's just dictated by what the point guard does. If he passes to the 5, if he passes to the 5 and leaves, if he just holds the ball, that's what we do.
Okay, and so like a 2-3 offense, you would use one of those. You don't use any of the middle, because some coaches in the Bahamas, they tend to use like a 4 in the middle, like right below the free throw line. I mean, it's a cool thing, if you have a good guard and you're like going towards the wing, and then a little dip if the offside guy doesn't play, because now you create you have him in the middle with outlets and different stuff. So how do you attack it more with?
Well, that's a good question. I've to be quite honest with you, this year I've watched more zone defenses, and I think I watch every day. Figure out I probably have 300 plays now against it. So
wow.
I want to be prepared. But this is how we will attack it exactly like Coach said. We screen the guard, have him come off it. One of our plays is we come off that screen, kick it to that wing, kick it to the other guard. A full man, we have another guy flying over, back cut there, and he's wide open for a 3. But usually a lot of that is screening we screen the guard.
Our middle guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then the other thing we like to do a lot of now is play 4 right across. 4 across the 2 at the elbow, and then we have set plays. If it hits, the thing, that guy dives, and so forth. So that's right now how we've been combating it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. When we played at my first high school, we would do a 1-4, 4 straight across the free throw line. If I go right, left elbow comes to set a pick on the middle guy in the zone. Most of them play like a 1-2-2. They didn't really play man. Or we do 1-4 low. If I come over the half court 4 is low, it'll be the same process. If I go right, instead of coming to set a pick, he'll pop up to the 3-point line. I pass it to him. I go down, set a pick for the big that's on the 4 on the baseline to come like right to the elbow, and it'll be like the same thing. When he passed it, he sets a pick, and it was like the same thing with the 1-4. It's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a lot of information. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much, coaches. We have another question. Like, as you can see, David was really excited about this.
This
right here.
is my thing.
He's really big into play calling. David was really big into play calling, offensive schemes, and just finding the right, just for the students that he's assisting, just finding the right system for the students so they can have a successful, collegiate career. Now, something that he brought up, which we was discussing earlier, I thought was a great question. In the age of analytics, and taking the most valuable shot or the best shot, we was discussing what do you all consider to be a really good shot? As we see Dame Lillard, he's pulling up pretty much half court. And the first time, it was cool. The first time I actually heard that, I was actually listening to an interview with Gilbert Arenas, and and he was saying that he started shooting those big shots because he said, being one of the smaller players, and even though he was 6'3", being one of the smaller players in the league, that's when he was open. And he said, well, if I start taking more shots like that when I'm open, I can probably hit them. Now we see, 10, 15 years later, Dame Lillard and Steph Curry, they're shooting it at a higher clip and is even more efficient. But in your offenses, what is considered a good shot for you all? And would you all allow someone to shoot a pull-up from half court like that?
That's a good question. I want to know.
Well, for me, if it's a shot that you work on every day and you're 30 to 40% from that area, I have no problem with it.
No, okay. Do you have any players who does that, Coach? Do you have any players right now on your team that can?
I don't. Not that deep, but I have some that can shoot it, but not that deep.
No, okay.
Not Dame Lillard.
They just better not airball it, right?
Well, the best shot that we like the most is every coach in the country likes. The ones that go in. Okay? Our shot, this is how we play. If the point guard passes you the ball, Paul Westhead, Loyola Marymount said, you know what that ball has on it? If that point guard passes to you, it says shoot it. That means you're open, you better shoot it. System. So for our system, which is non-traditional, if you're open, you have to shoot the ball. If you do not, your whole group's coming out. So ours is a lot better than everybody else's. I know, I understand that. But ours is, if you're open, you have to shoot it. The first question I always ask every player who comes in, and I say, hey, can you shoot? Yeah, coach, I can shoot. I said, well, we're going to find out if you can shoot. I can shoot too, but can you make them is the question, really.
That's it.
But that's different. If you're open, you got to shoot it. There's no question.
Well, you recruit all 3-point shooters. So shooters in general. So you're expecting them to hit it, and if they don't shoot it, it messes up the flow of your offense because they're expecting you to be a high shooting percentage team. So if they don't shoot it, it just chose to flow off.
Well, they actually we don't really. It's a very system is based on defense. On our believe, like I said, no one knows it.
Okay.
But we recruit long, athletic guys that we want to be able to get steals, and get traps, and go get dunks, and get up and down the court as quick as we can. You don't make them. I don't care if you. My system isn't about making them. You know, it's not that. It's about getting more shots than the other team, a lot more shots, about 30 more shots than the other team. And we also want to crash the glass. Like I said, we lead the nation in generally in the offensive rebound. Now, if they make them from three, geez, we'll be really good. You know, we'll really win it. We'll start winning championships. So now this year we blended a lot more three-point shooters now. We have probably 5 guys that I know that if you leave them open, it's going in. This is the first year we've had that, you know, so we're excited about this team, and that's our system. You know, if you're open, you got to shoot it.
Coach.
So don't get pulled. You never get taken out of a game if you shoot the ball and you miss. If you miss 11, miss 12, miss 13, that's okay. But don't not shoot it. That's just the way we play.
I like to play for you. I wasn't a big 3-point guy, but at least that means I can play. I get some playing time.
You gotta run those 420s.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
For another thing, coaches, for the both of you, I have a question for the student athlete that's a junior, that's a senior, that's entering a freshman year in a high school. How can they be best prepared to play to pretty much play in your system? So, like, what should they work on before they get to their senior year if they want to play for your system, play within your system?
Well, from depending on the position, a guard needs to be able to defend. Number one, he's got to be academically sound, and he has to be tough. Outside of that, can he get down? If he's a small guard, can he get down here with the basketball? Can he create for others? Can he knock down open shots?
Okay.
Big men, like I said, if they need to be able to play with the back to the basket and got to be able to shoot the 3-point shot.
Okay.
With us, of course, you know, we're a junior college. Of course, you got to be academic sound to be able to play. So that's one of the things is obviously key. That's why you go into college for academics at the end of the day. You know, to get a degree. But as far as athleticism and stuff, the biggest thing for us is you got to love to play the game. You got to be a good teammate. You know, yeah, we want you to be long. We want you to be athletic. We want you to be able to shoot the ball. But the bottom line, if you love the game and you care about your teammates, and you want to play hard, and you're a good teammate, there you go. You know, that's the biggest thing. You got to work hard. So.
Okay. You all aren't requiring much for your players. You know, you get it straight to the point. This is what we need. So for all you student athletes out there, Coach Summers, Coach Ledoux, they just provided to you what you need to do, you know, before you get there. If you want to be in an offense that puts up lots of points, that gets up going and running and gunning, these two coaches, they have the system. However, if you want to play for them, they have their requirements, and you need to adhere to it. So we want to thank you all, coaches, for just taking time out of your schedules to join us. It was incredibly informative. And we know the students within the Bahamas, they're gonna be excited to hear about this, and the coaches as well. We're happy to have you all a part of our team where we can connect you to the different athletes here, and we have you all as resources as well. So thank you all for your time. We're gonna end it on tonight. Before we end it, Josh and I, we want to have a shout out to one of my former students at the University of Oregon, Donovan Neal. He has these shirts, Women Ball 2. It was his initiative to show some love to the women hoopers. Just a short story, at the University of Oregon, the young ladies was going to the Final Four, Elite 8, and they weren't really being shown much love. And so Donovan just took it out of his, just used his imagination and created this brand to celebrate the women's hoopers. And now it's going nationwide. So we just want to shout out to Donovan and Women Ball 2, and keep doing your good work, Donovan. But thank you all, coaches. You know, we want to wish you all the best of luck during the season. We know COVID has pushed things out a little bit further, but we just want to wish you all safety, and we want to wish you a successful season. But that's all for tonight. Good night, and enjoy your evening. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for having me, man.
Okay, thank you all very much.